I feel like my pictures are an extension of me. And so if they love the pictures and I feel proud of them, to me, that's a success. I base a lot of what I do on customer service. I think the images are important, but I think making my brides feel like I am a friend is almost more of a success. And even building those relationships sometimes with brides after they are done with the wedding and it's several years later and they come back and we still have a relationship, that's a success to me. Today we are shooting a wedding at the Civic Center Meanders Hall of Mirrors. The wedding and reception will all be in the Hall of Mirrors, which will pose a little bit of problems with working around getting pictures of the reception and getting it without people in there at least, but should make the transition for us easy in that we don't have to go anywhere. So we are planning on taking most of our pictures outside. I use mostly natural light photography, so we will do most of the bride and groom portraits outside and then move back inside for the family portraits. The plan right now is to take the bride and groom back outside after the ceremony so they can get a few pictures, maybe as the sun is setting and we get some of that really awesome light outside. It's been a little cloudy today, so it may be a little spontaneous with where we go and what we do, but it should be fun. I have a Nikon D4 and then a DF that I bought a couple years ago that I love. It's a little different, but this one has beautiful color. I like this one because it's really easy to handle. It's not too heavy. One of my favorite features is that it not only has the CF card, but it also has a backup card here that I usually buy quite a bit bigger. So I have 2 copies of every picture that I take, which I love. I usually wear both of these throughout the day. That way I don't have to switch lenses, because sometimes in weddings it's so fast moving that it takes too much time, in my opinion, to switch lenses from one camera to the next. So I usually keep both cameras on all day, and then I can just use one with the usually the 24-70 or a wider lens, and then one with the 70-200. One of the first things that I do whenever I get to a wedding is that I check the time on both of my cameras, because one of the most annoying things when you're editing is when your pictures are like 10 seconds off. So rather than going back and correcting all of those, I will make sure that my time is the same on both. I usually just pick one camera and find the time and date on there, and then make sure that it's the same on the other one. 13:51:52. This is the SB910 by Nikon. I keep that on there, and I bounce the flash usually. So for that, I use the Gary Fong diffuser. This is actually an older one. They have one now that's collapsible that works much better, but I love it. Gives a lot of natural light when you're inside. And again, when I'm in weddings and lighting is changing in every single room all the time, this is an easy way for me to be able to bounce flash around and change my settings without having to carry around any sort of external stuff when they're getting ready and things like that. So
when is Grant? When are you gonna get him at all, like getting ready, or like?
I might go check on him right now. I got here a little early to get her details: shoes, wedding dress, rings, that kind of stuff, and then I may go find him. The second shooter isn't getting here for another hour, and we're supposed to start pictures at 4.
Okay.
So I meant to text you that schedule. Do you want me to send it to you?
I think
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, just make sure anytime you need to be there, we probably need to be there. So
Okay.
if we're not, I don't know, text me a quick text or something where you're at or something, but we'll probably just be following you most of the time.
Okay. Have you seen where the guys are getting ready yet? I haven't
I've
even
not.
looked at that yet. So this is one of my favorite rooms to take pictures in the city, because the windows are so big. It can make for really pretty pictures. As a matter of fact, today when it was cloudy outside, I wasn't even worried at all, because this room is just beautiful. And if worse comes to worse, we can shoot the bride and groom right in the windows. So it is just pretty in here. I feel like a lot of times the hardest thing is trying to find a really pretty place to put the dress to take pictures, because a lot of times sometimes the bridal rooms are absolutely gorgeous and you don't have to go outside of the rooms, but more often than not, you have to find a nice place with good lighting to get pretty pictures of the dress. I love looking for designs and shapes to kind of set off the dress. Natural light, again, I loved that staircase we tried, but this has so much better light, and you've got the design behind it that kind of gives it a little bit of a retro feel, and I love that. I usually have certain things that I get at every wedding. Most importantly, the dress, the shoes, the jewelry. I usually try to get an invitation shot, the rings, and then if there's anything else, sometimes brides might have something else that's special. Sometimes the garter is usually one, but there might be a special jewelry or a special garter that they really need close-ups of. So I always have a list of things that I go through, but I always check with my brides to make sure I've gotten everything that I need to get that they want. There's good light, and it's the prettiest area in here. Is your mom here?
She is here. She's running around like a crazy person.
Okay, does she want to be, there's a couple of things you might want to ask her. Does she want to be in here when you get dressed, which I assume the answer to that is yes. Okay, and then the second question is, does she want to be in her wedding attire to be in pictures?
Yes.
So you may ask her those questions. Okay, I'm going to take your shoes and your necklaces. I'll do that when I get the rings from Grant. So are you wearing both of these, bracelet, necklace?
Bracelet, necklace, and pearl ring.
Ring, you're wearing all of those?
These are my wedding present.
Those are really pretty. He did a good job.
Well, I said, here's the earrings, this is the link, and there you go.
It's okay.
So he did great.
He still did a great job. So I really like to make my weddings for my clients very personal. I figured that the reason they pick certain places to get married, or they pick certain places to have their reception, is because they love it or there's a sentimental reason behind it. So I will not only shoot close-ups of things, but I will also get some of the stuff of the building in the background sometimes. Like, since we're in the Civic Center here, it has beautiful architecture and staircases and things like that. So I will try to use that when I'm getting pictures, for instance, of her shoes. I will get close-ups of the shoes and close-ups of the jewelry, but I may also get a little bit of a wider angle to include some of the architecture of the building. I love the stripes against the blue shoes, really pretty. You always have to get down where you can get the best shot, or where you like the best shot. I have climbed on chairs and heels and flats, and while I was pregnant and shooting weddings, because I want to get the shot. Hey, can you show me where the boys are getting ready? I'm gonna run over there for about 10 or 15 minutes.
Are you all decent?
Yeah, we stay decent, but we're dressed too.
Do we have clothes on?
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I needed to know.
Is Grant here yet?
Yeah, I think he's in the bathroom.
Normally guys' rooms are really hot. Oh, perfect, thank you.
I am going to be in the reception hall.
Okay, that's
ceremony
fine.
hall, if you need me. And you said 3:45 is when we're doing first look?
Yes, I'm like, what time is it now? Yes,
3:30.
3:45.
Okay, I will come up and pin him.
Or around 3:45, 4.
Where
so.
are you guys doing first look at?
Probably outside.
Okay, if you'll just come grab me, I'll pin him in the lobby
Okay.
real quick. That
Okay.
way it's
Yeah, perfect. We'll get him set
immediate.
first before you even bring Kara out. So.
Then just let me know. And
Okay.
I will pin him when you guys get
Okay,
him set up.
perfect. Thank you, ma'am. Other than the dress, this is the part that makes me the most nervous. I always feel like there's a lot of money in my hands when I do this. I'll set it up, and if you want to change it, Reagan, feel totally free to change it.
Oh no, I want to film you doing that.
Okay. It's a very beautiful pink rose, but it's kind of got some veins on it. And I didn't like the veins. Kind of felt like it looked a little wilted. So, and I also wanted a kind of a brighter color, if I'm really being honest.
So try to at least get it right here before Photoshop, right?
Yes, I actually don't use a lot of Photoshop. I don't like it. If I'm going to do anything on Photoshop, it is going to be smoothing their skin, because once you get pictures of anybody, the pores show up a lot. But I'm a bigger fan of getting it right in camera and not having much to take out in Photoshop. The only thing I'll take out in Photoshop are things that might be essential, like a stop sign in the background that I don't like, or parking meter or something like that. So I usually try to get them stacked, and then I'll try to get them more next to each other so you can kind of see all of the rings. So, did you get that? You're totally fine. Okay, so one of my favorite things to do, as I said, is to make things personal for bride and grooms, and I always feel like that's looking for little details that they didn't think I was going to get and getting pictures of those. So for instance, the inside of this ring is inscribed with a Bible verse for this particular couple, and it's very special for them. So I want to make sure and get that, even if she hasn't necessarily told me that that's going on. So I almost always check the inside of the ring, because that can be a pretty normal thing, and they don't usually expect you to get it. A lot of times the inscription that is on the inside of the ring, you can't get it all because it's going in a circle. So I'll take 3 or 4 different angles of different parts of it and just kind of see which of those angles I actually like the best. I like that a lot. You can just enjoy it, but yeah. You look beautiful, Kara.
Thank you.
It's gonna be great. All the stress will be over here in just a little while, and it'll be really fun. She'll be able to enjoy everything. So, yeah, that's perfect. Let's just hold it kind of like beautiful, like one and done. Oh, did you see it?
Yay! I love it.
Okay, now you can put it on.
Kara, can you turn this way?
Yes.
Like face your body this way?
Face my body this way?
Yes. And then just kind of like adjust your necklace.
Does it make you nervous?
A little bit.
A little awkward.
You're right, I do feel like paparazzi's right here.
Okay, take a step backwards so we can all see you. Yeah. Take a step backwards, one more. There, and just, yep.
Oh, I'm standing in front of one. You're good.
Watch out. Sorry if I hit you.
Is that good?
Yeah. Grab the very, like as much as underneath as you can grab, all of the dress. There you go. And just smile because you're beautiful. Good? Okay, so here's how the first look is going to work.
Okay.
Outside is great. There's really pretty lighting. There's some shadow. So I am going to take him downstairs first,
Okay.
get him placed probably at the bottom of the stairs, and then I will come back here and get you. My second shooter will be here soon, so she might come up. Her name's Holly.
Okay.
But one of us will be back up here to get you, and then we will walk you down once he's set and he can't see you,
Okay.
and we'll go from there. So
Okay.
just breathe, get a drink of water. You
Okay.
look absolutely gorgeous. He's probably gonna cry.
Okay, good.
Hi, can I come in? I'm returning these. Not responsible for them anymore. Who's in charge?
The guy that
Okay.
sent me needed.
I am not in charge of them anymore.
All right.
It'll be probably in the shade, but like right at the bottom of the stairs. I'll have him standing looking away, and she will come
up.
behind him.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna follow you guys the whole time.
When she comes out, you're gonna do a couple things for me. There's people spying on us up there. That's funny. You're gonna do a couple things, okay? I want you to gush about how beautiful she is, because every bride needs to hear that. I'm sure you would do it anyway, but, and then at one point or another, grab her hand, spin her around, talk about her dress, and then I am going to stay here, and you're gonna be surrounded by us for just a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna back off and let you guys just have like 5 minutes. If you wanna talk, pray, just breathe for a few minutes. We'll give you just a couple minutes to do that, and then we'll jump into all the pictures. Okay?
Cool.
Okay, so stay right here. We're gonna disappear for just a second so you guys can breathe and not be surrounded by people, and we'll be right back in just a second, okay?
Okay.
Do you need anything, either of you? Water?
I'm good.
Okay. Good. So I honestly feel like half of my job is taking really good pictures, and half of my job is trying to make sure that their day goes the way that it should, peaceful, happy. And so I work really hard to encourage the bride constantly, make sure that she has everything she needs. If she needs water or time to sit down, if she's getting too hot or overwhelmed, I will stop everything and give her a minute, because it's my job to get stressed today. It's not her job to get stressed today. And I will even take the time to show her pictures, things that I've taken, to reassure that she even looks good on the camera and that things are going really well and she's beautiful that day, because I think that every bride deserves to feel beautiful on their wedding day. So I work really hard to make sure all of my clients feel beautiful as hard as I can. Yes, ma'am. I will get it, because you said you wanted to pin it on, yes? Yeah, I'll get it. Do you want to start getting some details?
Where will you be for most of the time?
Right back here.
This range?
There's no need for me to get any closer, so I won't get in your way.
Because Nick, our key thing is getting Grant's reaction shot, which is probably yours too.
Yeah.
Where will you be for that? Where will you be for that?
I'll just be right here.
Okay. What, Nick?
I almost think moving that way a little bit further would be better, because we don't have that light completely blowing him out in the background. So I think doing that. Also, do you want me to hit record on that, right?
Yeah, let's probably start.
My thoughts on the first look. I was a bride when I got married that I wanted the ah moment when the doors opened so that my husband could see me and I would get that first effect. But so when brides want to have that first look, I encourage them by saying I was there, that's what I did. However, from a photographer's point of view, I feel that a bride's wedding day can be much more relaxed when they see each other before, because they can see each other, all of the nervousness is kind of put away, they're less anxious, we can spend a few minutes with them actually getting to talk. I know from experience on my wedding day, I did not get to speak to my husband really until we ate pizza out of a box later that night. So it is nice for them to be able to have a few minutes by themselves to be able to talk and see each other. And there is no change in emotion from my perspective. As a matter of fact, out of all the weddings I've done, I've had probably 4 or 5 grooms cry when the doors were open and the bride walked down, and those were all but one when they had had a first look before. So he had already seen the bride, and then when the doors open and the moment happens, he was still very emotional. So I don't think that that's an issue, and that's usually how I encourage my brides in that perspective, but I let them have their choice regardless. If I'm happy with the images, if I come home and feel like I've put out the best effort that I possibly could, if I've made it a day that runs smoothly for the bride and groom, if I've taken some of the stress off of them and handled that myself, I feel like that's a successful day. And then in the end, if the bride obviously loves the pictures, it's been a really good success.